Well, there's no place like home, and that's exactly where we are today. That right there, HD Automotive. Last time we were here, we were tuning up a 1,000 horsepower Land Cruiser. Today, we've got the Retro 79 Series. We're about to pull it in, get Hayden to put it on the dyno, see how much power it's making, how much torque, give it a touch up, and make sure it's safe for our lap of Australia. Let's go in and see the lads.
I'm going to find out what Toyota V8 with a turbo can do.
The answer is not a heap. This one that we're in now has been tuned. There's no secret to that, by another shop up here in Queensland. But what I'm here to do, and why I brought it back to you guys, is to find out if I am safe to take this around Australia. We're about to do a massive lap. It has been tuned, it's got some supporting mods and that kind of thing, but you know these better than just about anyone. I was thinking we chuck it on the dyno, give it a health check over the tune and make sure you're happy with it.
Yeah, sounds good. Driving it feels pretty solid already. Like, it's got heaps of torque, under 2,000 RPM. Yeah, so basically we can just get it on the dyno, see the numbers, see the boost, see the AFRs, make sure that there's nothing out of the ordinary there as far as the tuned turbo diesel V8 Land Cruiser go.
Yep.
And send you on your way. Top. It actually does. I didn't rev it out quite before, yeah. Whoa! That's 100. How long did that take?
21.99.
No.
21.99 seconds.
Wait, cars that do that don't belong on the dyno. That's ridiculous.
22 seconds basically.
See how wild it got in the
Yeah,
end?
it was lifting up. This thing just wants to, we should put a wing on the back.
It reminds me of that video from Russia when it's like they're just cruising in that bus, like the two run, and then it's like just
everywhere. Bodies limp everywhere. Yeah, these things need a lot of attention from factory, I think.
They come out between 150 to 180 horsepower, depending on tyre size, weight in the tray, all that sort of stuff. So tuned, they end up between 210 to 235 horsepower at the wheels.
Yep.
Torque, normally around that 380 to 400 newton meter mark out of the box. All tuned up, we typically see well into the 630, 650 newton meters plus. So that's normally delivered right around that 2000 RPM mark at maximum torque. And we sort of limit them out at a 19 PSI boost on these DPF model turbos. So that's what we want to see today. We want to see those numbers, but of course there's more to tuning than just the number that lands on the screen. So we'll do some quick data logs on it as well, and just make sure it's exactly where it all should be. And yeah,
happy days. Make sure it's safe.
Make sure she's safe, mate. But
outstanding.
Drives pretty good as it is. So looking forward to seeing how that performs on the dyno. So
yeah,
we'll get a run up and take a look.
Awesome. Let's get back to the shop. Now, over the years, we have been in this little dyno room a hell of a lot of times. We had the 1FZ, we've had the OG Naughty 40 on here, and now the big Retro 79 Series. On these screens over here, it's going to read us out the horsepower, the newton meters, and a whole lot of information on the screen that he's going to hook up to. Fingers crossed we have some good news and Hayden doesn't have too much work ahead of him. Also worth mentioning that the Toyota airbox is a dog, so we'll try to twist Hayden's arm into hooking us up with an HD Auto airbox very soon, but we'll see how we go. So, it's very loud in here, but basically what's going to happen is Hayden's going to run it up a couple of times, and usually does 3, 4, maybe 5 runs back to back, so you get a good, repeatable number, and then pretty much just look at the numbers, look at all the data that he's got, look at the data log, and then we'll be able to work out from there how safe the tune is, what the power is, if there is anything that needs attention or adjusting, or if it's good to go like that. This car has got a couple of bits and pieces already added to it, the snorkel, the exhaust, it's got a heavy duty clutch, it's got a catch cam which he's not stoked about, but it seems to be fine, and it does need an airbox. But there's a few bits and pieces for a bit of background as to find out exactly what this thing is going to make and what it's not going to make. We've got the fan on, it's noisy. Last time I saw a car in here on that dyno, it was my own 80 series with a blown head gasket making 800 horsepower. So fingers crossed we have better luck today. Okay, so we just got the first run done. Hayden wasn't actually that impressed with the horsepower and torque that it made. So we're just trying to figure out if it's intake temp related or not. So we've just cranked up the dyno fan, aimed it right at the intercooler to try and cool it down. before doing another run and finding out exactly what's happening. That just did 188 horsepower for rear wheels on 35s on the rollers. So we're just going to play around, I think, and see exactly what's happening. If we can cool the intercooler down and it makes more, then it's intake temp related, but we'll see what the master has to say once he's done fondling.
Okay, so we have just given the car an opportunity to let the intake temps cool back down now. I've got them down to 46 degrees here, which is pretty typical what you'd see cruising on the highway at say 100 k's an hour, between 40 and 48 degrees depending on the temp of the day. Obviously much cooler if you're in a cooler environment, but we are in Queensland, the only place to be, and that's the temps that we see around here. So now that I've got it back down to that more optimal engine operating condition, I'm going to give it one more run on the dyno and just see the sort of numbers it produces in that way. It's not exactly fair to run a car flat out up to 70+ degree intake temps and then check the power it makes. It's only going to derate. Cool. 193 horsepower, 610 newton meters of torque. You can see there under the 610 newton meters of torque, it is making that at 1800 RPM, so it is coming in super soon, super early. Peak power's made just under 3 grand. How often are you revving this thing past 3 anyway, you know? So yeah, for a standard car, like that's sort of what you're gonna get. 35s, big heavy canopy. I mean, we can loosen the straps off if you want. Try and get it up on the rollers a little more, make some more power that way for the TikToks and Instagram builds. But
that's what we did with mine, eh?
Yes.
I made 900, but then
yeah,
we loosened the straps.
Once we loosen those hub bolts off and hub lines, so we just let it eat.
We're gonna play a game.
Who's ready for dyno Mythbusters? We're going to loosen our strap right off the rear axle and we're going to move the chock about a fist forward so the car can ride right up onto the rollers.
The key here, the terms and conditions of this are, before you go and watch the rest of this little snippet, drop a comment on the video. We just made what, 199 horsepower and 600 newton meters. By doing the strap and the chock, comment below how much power you think will pick up.
Yeah, this is the age-old dyno tuners trick.
Mythbusters, exactly. So when people want 1,000 horsepower, they make 980. This is what they do. So drop a comment, see what we can do.
All good to go. You should feel that this time. So it's actually a little bit alarming when it happens because you're like, oh my god.
I've seen big horsepower FTEs do it. Terrifying.
It might not even do it because of the canopy. It's not even going to do it because of the canopy. Oh no, it's making more power. Alright, what's she doing?
Oh, 5 horsepower and an extra 27 newton meters of torque. We'll take it.
So the reason it didn't actually make that big of a difference is because of the big heavy canopy keeping it in the rollers. It doesn't have enough like that's a heavy setup.
Yeah,
at the
a lot of weight over the rear axle.
It needs to overcome that, get past that, sit up on the roller. It couldn't do that. So
if you guessed an extra 5 horsepower and 27 newton meters of torque in the comments, I will give you a kiss at the Brisbane show. Come and collect it. I'll reply to your comment if you've won the kiss.
Sam Young cancelled 2024.
Hayden will be there to kiss you too. It's gonna be a double smooch. It's gonna be a spit roast kiss. He acts like he doesn't want it. Now, it goes to show it's not all about chasing insane horsepower, massive torque figures, and making everything unreliable, which is sort of what I'm known for. But we've turned a leaf. It's a new chapter with this build. We're going around Australia, and I knew I needed something safe, reliable, and torquey, and that's exactly what we checked and confirmed today. Hayden put it up on the dyno. It made 200 horsepower, 600 newton meters on 35s, and has given it a clean bill of health and a massive tick of approval. If you guys want to find out any more information about getting your car road trip ready, getting a dyno tune, or getting some mechanical work done, make sure you hit up the team here at HD Automotive, give them a buzz, hit them up on the website, or drop a comment on this video and I'll try my best to answer. Anyway guys, appreciate the support, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next Thursday. Boom!